What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So today we're going to jump right in and look at this sneak peek that we got that is not Adam Warlock. Now, I'm not very disappointed that we're not getting Adam Warlock, especially after the presentation that they showed in the movie for Adam Warlock. If you know what I'm talking about and seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Adam Warlock wasn't exactly the Adam Warlock we know from the comics. He definitely wasn't living up to the bill of the Magus either. So that's just to go in the head. But what we do get is the previews for essentially Groot and for Gamora. And it looks like there's a confirmation here that we get a T3 Groot and a T4 Gamora, which makes sense. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let's jump right in here to where the obvious points are. Love the music, by the way, for the backgrounds. Really cool. The visuals look great. The reason why I think that we're getting a T3 Groot is because from here you can see I am Groot, I am Groot, I am Groot, right? So it's a nice little homage way to say, hey, it's T3 Groot is coming, right? I kind of like that. And then when we, when Groot's walking out from here, we get like a teenage Groot. You've seen the movie, then you know what we get there for the Groot. Really good looking detail inside here. This actually looks like it's probably going to be what the actual uniform looks like. I'm really excited to see what they do with for his uniform there. It's going to be a big bonus, I think, for the character overall. And then here you get to see that he's releasing subject number 4. Now, it doesn't make sense that this would be like the 4th Guardian or something like that, because essentially when you look at it, right, if you were talking about the release of it, we already had 3 Guardians, Groot being the 4th, and then Gamora would be the 5th, because that's the way that the preview is basically being released. So I don't see a T in here that I can find except for the T and the 4 right here. So I think it's a clever way of trying to get at saying that she's going to get T4, and she already has her awakening, her transcendent skill anyway. So it kind of makes sense that she would be in a T4, right? So I kind of like that. And then the really cool part is when we do get to Gamora over here, we get a very detailed look at Gamora's face, especially when she opens her eyes. Like, it's really lifelike in there. Like, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So over on the Twitter sphere, we see I am Groot. 2 more Guardians are ready to return to battle, inspired by Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And you can see already people complaining. It's like, no, I should have been Adam Warlock. I think this would have been a really cool look for Adam Warlock to get. Maybe we will see him down the road. But like, no, Will Poulter did what he did with the role. It was pretty good. The Undying Beast, I love following Beast. T4 Gamora, well, then this changes things, right? That's going to be a really nice look, and we'll talk about that here in a second, right? And then we also get, no, it should have been Adam Warlock, blah, blah. So it was really hoping for Awakened Groot and a T4 Warlock. The mid-month from Commander is there, but, they're looking at buffing Rocket's base damage, his update passes. I doubt we're going to see any of that. So then over on the forums, we get, this is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. More superheroes will join the new journey of the Guardians of the Galaxy team. Check out the new look and power of these superheroes, the most dangerous assassin of the universe, and the tree creature with great power. We will announce more information through the patch details later. So we're not going to get there's basically what it's telling you is that there's no ingoing that you're gonna get Adam Warlock inside here. I'm a little disappointed in that, but not necessarily because I'm a huge Adam Warlock fan and Guardians team fan in general, but yeah, it is what it is. So anyways, so those are the updates right there for the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I was playing some, let's escape out of this real quick. I don't know why I did that, but I could lose my energy. So anyways, so T3 Groot and dang it, I forgot the volume was off on this one. I want you guys to be able to hear that nice music. All right, so Star-Lord, I still haven't worked on leveling him up to T4, and the main reason why I haven't worked on him to T4 is because I was like, hey, you know what, I gotta save these blast books in case they do drop that T4 Adam Warlock. Now that I know that they're probably not gonna drop that T4 Adam Warlock, gotta make some decisions now though, right? So let me see what let me show you guys what I'm talking about when I specifically say that. So if we go inside the team over here, right, and you were to pull up Gamora. All right, so let's go look at Gamora over here. This was the last time that we basically saw she had her Gamora Requiem uniform inside here. This is a really good look for the character. Still probably had her in the top tier of characters, at least playable characters anyways. Like, I don't know, it's necessarily top tier, but like she was definitely a good playable character for Shadowlands is basically what I used it for. I didn't have really much reason to use her for anything else, but it was coming from the Infinity Wars comic series. So it was a really good uniform overall for her, but you can see Gamora already had her potential transcendence. So having her potential transcendence, it only makes sense that she's going into T4. So when they say release Project 4, I think it's a very cute way of just basically saying that this is the T4 version of Gamora that's going to come release. We've seen a number of characters come out with their potential transcendence and then go to T4, like Doc Ock was recent. I think that's a really good one. We've seen some of the Warriors of the Sky as well. They've done that. So I'm kind of excited about Gamora essentially rising to the ranks of T4. It's a really, really good look in terms of that. Not to mention, I have to point this out as well. Gamora is a speed type character. And I've pointed this out before, but when you get down to the nitty gritty of speed characters, there's not a whole lot to choose from inside, you know, your speed based characters of the power tiers that you would necessarily go to, especially in terms of what you're talking about for specific popularity, right? Like, so I think they did a good job with what we had here for Squirrel Girl, but she's quickly fallen off the wagon right here. Where Gamora, however, I think is somebody that could have a sustainable, lasting impact inside the game in terms of like if they do her right, people will want to play that character, and it's good. Not to mention we possibly have more Guardians of the Galaxy coming down the road. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how much Zoe Saldana wants to continue playing it, but she has definitely been at the forefront of a lot of movies lately and turning a pretty buck. So that'd be really cool, right? Now, as well as her, like I said, we basically got Groot. Now, the last uniform that I purchased for Groot, Groot has his uniform here, right? And so you can see he hasn't had very much. Now, this was the last uniform I purchased for him, was the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 uniform. He has had a uniform in between, and that would have been the Snowflake Festival uniform that was here. And I didn't purchase this uniform, mostly because I remember when the uniform came out, it was like, it was negligible. There was no reason to really purchase it. It was a cute uniform, and basically like you were purchasing this for cute Groot, but I thought the uniform that they had him in previously was good enough. And we've had a couple of uniforms for Groot overall, to be honest with you. So like we had Groot, Marvel Studios Infinity War, we had Groot, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, we had Secret War Thor Groot, and we had the original Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm expecting that with this uniform upgrade, because mostly what Groot has been used for by and large is like a support type character. Like he hasn't really been used for anything outside of that. Like, you know, his leadership, nothing really, like even if I go over here to this uniform and was to look at it, his leadership, nothing to write home about in terms of like physical defense. So you're not really using him there. And then like if you were to go in and jump at his passives as well, they're not really here. But what he does is he drops these little shrubs or whatever as he's running around when you use some of his skills. And because of those, he's been a good support character in terms of like, hey, I dropped some shrubs and stuff like that for you so you can heal. Similar to like Venom dropping the little symbiotes on the ground, and you pick those up and you get a nice heal. So in that regard, that's where Groot has had his bona fides, so to speak. Hopefully with this tier 3 update, we get a little bit more from him, and especially in this age where there seem to be going a lot of these passive DPS type characters, we'll have to see where he fits in. Now, I will have to agree with Cynic Alex. I put out my video about Rocket Raccoon, and I didn't really think about Rocket, but Rocket definitely, it was weird because when we looked at his change skills, I didn't pay attention to this, that it was pretty much applied only to Guardians of the Galaxy type characters, and that was bad because we don't have that many Guardians of the Galaxy, so it makes him a very pinpointed kind of costume inside here. Like you're only basically pairing him up with Star-Lord, so in that sense he almost looks like Miles Morales paired up with Spider-Man, so it's kind of weird in that regard. But you know, I'm not going to complain about it too much, so it is what it is there. So with these two characters though, Groot will get his T3, and we will see that that's beneficial for there. Now, the reason why I want to talk about the reason why you want to be considerate about who you will get to that next stage for level 80 is because it does matter. They essentially gave you the way and the path depending on how much you've been, sitting down and actually hunkering away to basically almost get 2 T4 characters in this month. Let me explain what I mean by that. So like, if you guys remember, we basically have the events that are rolling on the second 8-year set of events, which is really cool, right? But down there you basically have like your you got your premium character selector and you got your potential transcendence. I already used my potential transcendence, but along with that, inside your inventory you should have received this for just completing one of the letters, which is your level 8 potential enhance ticket. So you can basically enhance a potential level 7 character that has met the potential enhancement conditions to potential level 8 character level 72. So this gives you like a good jump start basically, right? Like, so you can see like these are the characters that I have already that are potential level 7, and then I can use this 8 to basically like get a little jump start on there. So like, it's one of those things where it just removes some of the resource requirements that's there, so that way you can spread load the weight. Now, I think this mostly applies to probably whales, right? Like, let's be honest, most of the whales probably already got Star-Lord there, but if you look at that overall, it's just a good way to get you going. And I'm pretty sure the reason why they gave you this is because now, it's like a test on it, right? Like, they get to basically see the whales go, I'm like, oh, that's cool, level 8. Well, what about me purchasing level 9, level 10, level 12? And, we knew it was coming, so I'm not going to complain about it because the game's 8 years in and you have to find some way to play. But you can see it right here. It's inside the relay pack, baby, right? You want that level 8, you want that level 9, you want that level 10, you want that level 11, you want that 12. Well, guess what? You gotta pay to play, baby. You gotta come and show up and pay to play. So you see how we get inside here, right? And we get to level 8. So they did that dirty, man. Like, you know what it was? It's like feeding like a druggie, right? It was like, hey, I'm gonna give you a little taste. And now because you got that taste, I know you gonna want some more. So you're gonna jump inside this store and you're gonna get some more. It's crazy how they did that. I knew it was coming. I knew they were like, basically, like putting the carrot out there for the horse, for the whales to get, and then they drop the pack inside there. But I'm not mad, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not mad about it, nor should you. The whales are basically sustaining this game so that way you can continue to have free content to play, and I think it's amazing. So thank you to the whales. I hope you guys do go out and purchase those packs because I can't. And I like to see the game stick around for a few more years, especially if they actually do get around to releasing Shuri, Black Panther, Riri, and freaking Miles Morales coming here in the next month as well. That'd be really nice, guys. Don't make me hate on you too bad. Anyways, so back to the Guardians of the Galaxy. So this is a really interesting debate because I think a lot of people are going to be looking at, if they haven't already tier 4 Star-Lord, you're going to be looking at the importance of which of these characters is more important to you in terms of leveling up. Like when you look at the female speed type characters inside this tier 4 list that you would potentially have, there's not a whole lot there for her to compete with, especially as you just end up with potentially just Black Widow in the mix. There's not a whole lot of other T4 options. I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point baby girl Luna Snow is going to jump in here and do some work, but she is an energy type character that's sitting at the speed. So compared to like our girl Shuri, who would have been a direct competitor, I think, to Gamora, because if you look at her abilities, she is a physical type character, and therefore if she would have got her Black Panther uniform, she would have definitely been a competitor to Gamora getting her T4 as well. So like, I think it's weird because you have Shadow Shell and she's listed now as a speed character, but don't forget Shadow Shell was formerly I believe she was a universal type character, so it's a little weird for her sitting over here at T4 with this uniform, right? But essentially, so she has a very short list, a short stack to compete against. That's the truth of the matter, is that she just has a very short stack to compete against. So I think this is going to be a good T4 for her. And then Groot, I hate to say this, but like, yeah, we know like T3s are T3s now at this point. Like, they don't really have of great value to you anymore, but you should probably be looking at whether or not you're going to T3 Groot into there. I don't see a reason not to T3 Groot. luckily I've saved up enough books to basically T3 him, so I will T3 him inside here. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys happy with the Guardians of the Galaxy update? I wonder what happened to Drax, man. Like, they just seem to like shat on Drax for this one, because like everybody else got some love but Drax in this update. I mean, I guess it wasn't very much you could do with Drax, because he hasn't really changed very much, but would have been nice to see him. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Until next time, peace.